Oh, hey there. I'm on the north end of Capitol State Forest in Washington. I don't know if you can hear, but there are people, locals, shooting off in the distance. So if you hear that, don't mind it. It's not coming at me, so I don't care. I have laid out all the ingredients to make my tent. So let's make it a tent. This is the footprint. This helps me be able to set it up in the rain, which I haven't needed yet. Poles, stakes, the actual mesh tent is in here, and then my rain fly. And then I hatch it to sacrifice one of my limbs so the rain doesn't come. First things first is, you gotta set up the poles. So today I took a ferry from, what is it called again? Victoria to Vancouver this morning. And then from Vancouver I went to Seattle. I really didn't get much of either one, to be honest. Vancouver or Seattle. I hit Vancouver first. And this is the little footage that I got from Vancouver. It's not much, and I mean, the traffic is just too terrible. It's just kind of dangerous for me to be there and to get shots and stuff for the videos, and it really is no different than any other major city, to be honest. It's just traffic, stores, and rude people. And Seattle's even worse. This is all you need to see of Seattle. That's all you need to know. And just before that clip, 3 emergency vehicles passed by me, so it was the ultimate scene of Seattle. It's just, don't go there. No need. I almost got contact high from fentanyl just being by there. So, set up the skeleton. And now, usually, I would have to put on the fly and then crawl on the inside and do everything up. But I don't have to because it's not raining, even though that looks like a storm cloud. But hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not. So I'm officially done with Canada now. I am going to be all in the United States. I'm heading south through Washington, Oregon, and then California. Gonna see the redwoods, and then hopefully take Route 66, but I don't know. We'll see how that all goes. This whole trip has kind of just been not really too thoroughly planned out, just a generalized route of where I'm going. And I like to keep it that way. It doesn't restrict me, and I can just kind of do whatever. So You gotta get all the corners into the thing. Some things I noticed about Canada. It is honestly a pretty beautiful landscape, especially British Columbia. The Yukon is good in its own sense. It's very secluded, a lot of solitude. But BC just has it all. Saskatchewan, it's just oil fields and farmland. Same with the next one over that I can't remember the name of. To the west of Saskatchewan. Whatever. But some things that I noticed is they love A&W. I don't know if it just took over and no one actually eats there and it's just somehow stayed, but there is an A&W at almost every single city, which is funny. Same with Tim Hortons, which is essentially just Canadian Dunkin'. That's really all it is. Except for I think their prices are better. A lot of the semis, mostly up north, but kind of just everywhere, they have double trailers. Because in the States, normally they just have a single trailer, but in the Yukon and all the other places, they have two. I thought that was really weird and wondering why we don't do that in the States more often, but I'm sure there's weight restrictions and all that stuff. Stuff that I don't know about, and at this point, don't really care about. Also, I know I have lists. I can't remember my list. I hope you guys can do that. This is a shooting range. I'm setting up on very uneven. It's slanted this way pretty hard. But if I just point my feet that way, I sleep just fine. And then there's a lot of rocks, but with all my padding that I have, I don't feel rocks. I can sleep on a complete gravel pit and I don't feel it at all, which is very nice and has a lot to do with the quality of the air mattress. So if you want to do this kind of thing, invest in a very good quality air mattress. Other things about Canadians. All the stereotypes are true. They do the A thing. I mean, I kind of do too. But it's kind of as a joke more than anything. They're pretty friendly for the most part if they actually want to talk to you. And all the stereotypes that kind of like come with America's drivers, like the certain type of people who drive certain type of vehicles, they translate almost perfectly to Canada. Oh, I have somebody. Look at this. Oh, you can do whatever.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, I scared them. Unit. I'm a unit. Oh. This is the most difficult part. Putting this rainfly on is just a headache. Because everything looks similar, and normally, like I said, I don't normally have that mesh tent because usually it's raining and I don't want the inside of my tent wet. So normally I don't have these clips here. There's clips on each corner to kind of help lock it down. so whenever I pull it to get it over and whatnot, it doesn't get twisted and disorganized. And then this crossbar, in order for it to properly, and so you don't have to struggle too much with it, you got to do the rain fly first before you do the mesh tent, which I took a little too long to realize. I pinched my finger to the point where it bled on these clips that are underneath here. They're not clips. They're it's a pole, and it's a metal ring. You put the pole inside the metal ring, just kind of like down there. Same idea. Just there's a tension so it bows. As you can see, it's flat, and I pull it and it bows it a bit. Hopefully you can hear me over the noise of the fly. I don't know how much the mic picks up. But now, even though you can't see me, you just clip in these clips at the edges. And the last thing to do really is to put the stakes in. And then attach the internet to these same poles underneath here, so it pulls it out as well. This tent is, I mean, for how much I paid for it, I think it was like $150. Not expensive at all for a tent. For how cheap it is, it's a great tent. But for what I'm doing, it's kind of a pain. Like when it is just piss and rain, oh, I hate this sheath. That's the second time I almost cut myself with it. So whenever it's raining, this fly, I'll show you in a second after I hammer this in. Hopefully it goes in. Also, you can't hit this too hard. I didn't get upgraded tent stakes, and these are aluminum. So if I hit it too hard, I've already done it to 2. I don't have the ones I snapped on me. This top part just bends and snaps right off. Yeah. Luckily I have extras, because you're meant to put the stakes in all 4 corners and these. But I only ever do this because if the tent's up, then I'm in it. So I'm not gonna need the extra stability in the tent if it gets windy. I'm in there. And if the tent flies away with me in there and it needs the stakes, then the tent's coming apart anyways. I'm doomed. There's a tornado. It's chaos. You get the point. I'm done with that one. All 4 sides, they all need stakes, because this pulls out the rain fly. These ones actually serve a good purpose. They pull out the rain fly so that it doesn't leak inside your tent too bad. There's so many rocks. There's too many rocks. This has been the case for like my past 3 or 4 campsites. I just can't get through the soil. Even though it looks like there's dirt and everything, there just must be too many rocks that are underneath everything over the years and whatnot. I'm sure every single time I strike it, you can't even hear me talk. Yeah, that one's not going in very well either. I'll put the stakes in later. It's fine. Not for that sacrifice. I'm just kidding. But yeah, other than that, Canada, pretty good. The gas is just
absurdly expensive. Yeah, I mean, I have to do premium in this bike. I don't have to, but it runs best on premium, which is like 92 octane, and that on average is like $2 a liter. It's expensive. Luckily, I've been averaging like 42 miles to the gallon ish, so that's, I mean, I'm getting great gas mileage. Wow, that one just flew in my eye. Other than that, Canada's been good. The camping is honestly one of the best parts about it. There's tons of free camping everywhere. Like, to me in America, it kind of feels like everywhere is purchased already, unless it's a state park, and then there's tons of restrictions on state parks. But in Canada, it kind of feels like you can pitch a tent wherever, just don't disturb anybody, and they're like, it's cool. America is like, if you sneeze on somebody's corner of their land, they're gonna come out with the truck and run you over. Oh man, wind's picking up and it just dropped temperature. There's blue skies right over there, but there's gray skies right over there. Yeah. I got rained on most of today anyways. It's not gonna make a difference. But I have to put in, oh yeah, see, my brain's all over the place. See how the tent's kind of, well, I'm pretty sure you can see that. It's kind of like caved in. So if I grab this doodad thingamajig and attach it to see. Oh, I hope you can see it. That's brilliant. Look at that. You just connect it right there, and she's all perked up. But the thing I hate about this Rainfly is when you're trying to get in and out, and this thing is soaked, because I mean obviously you have to get out at some point. This rubs against you, and there's almost nothing you can do about it. And so all the rain that's on this gets all over you. And if you try to like strap it up, then it just kind of leaks and drips inside your tent. Not the best. Not the best. So I've been just kind of making do, trying to stay in the tent as much as possible when it's raining, so I don't have that problem. And I've kept the inside of my tent pretty dry. I'm quite proud of that. But I've also been a stickler for it as well. I do have that tarp that I talked about in my earlier videos, but honestly, my rigging system to string it between two trees, I can't get it tight enough with a slip knot to get it so it stays up right where I want it. And overnight, it was the wind blowing and everything, it loosens and it just kind of falls to the side, and it kind of becomes irrelevant. So I've been having troubles with that, and that's mostly because of my knot tying skills. I was in the Boy Scouts, but none of that stuck, not even a little bit. Other than that, I mean, this is a pretty great spot. Really open skies. This entire thing is pitched this way. Oh well. I'll show you the shooting range here. So all that over there is just shot up objects, wood, cardboard. There's a speaker over there. So people come over here and they're using all that stuff. I mean, here's shotgun shell. There's 9mm over. I was kind of wanting some of the locals to come out here and see me out here and just say screw it and start shooting and me get to join in. I think that'd been pretty funny and fun. But it turns out just fellow campers who wanted this spot pulled up. And I scared them away. But I do have a list of things that I wanted to talk about with Canada, but it's on my phone. That's my phone. So I think I covered most of it. And today sucked. Not gonna lie. Traffic is traffic. I don't like riding in big cities, especially ones I don't know, and it's just dangerous. Flat out dangerous, getting cut off, having slam on my brakes, all that. It's not worth it. So I'm gonna try to avoid major cities at this point. If I have to pass through it, then so be it. But I spent more than an hour in just stop and go traffic, all because people don't merge properly and anything like that. There was no accidents, no construction. It was just busy traffic for a very long time on Highway 5 South. Other than that, I think I rambled on long enough and I showed you how Z-Tent works. And that is the finished product-ish. Besides tent stakes that I'm going to have to struggle with and probably snap. Whatever. Alright. Have a good one.